Welcome everybody, it is Crypto Moose and it's time to get loose. Mitchell Bouchard, your crypto and NFT investor. What we're going to do on this episode is go over 5 mistakes that will get your crypto stolen. So these are 5 things that some of you may be doing that could really hinder your crypto portfolio. So guys, make sure that you protect your crypto. Just knowing these 5 things will really help you out down the road. So the worst thing is if you guys have a little bit of crypto, goes up in value, and then once it's up in value, you lose it. Okay. So there's one thing to lose $5, $10, but when you have a lot of money, even over a couple $100, it could be painful. And I want you guys to learn this, especially for those of you that don't have a lot. When your assets appreciate, I want you to be able to better protect it. So guys, like, comment, subscribe. What other videos would you like to learn here on the channel? Okay, so why should you even listen to me for the first part? Well, I have been investing into crypto for the past 5 years. And I've unboxed over 20 different hardware wallets. So, wallets like the Ledger Flex, some like the Trezor Model T, the Tantrum Ring. I've unboxed so many different hardware wallets. In fact, maybe I can find this too. I've got a full case. And I've definitely thought about crypto. I mean, guys, how much of a nerd can you be? Look at that. So I've got probably, 20 different hardware wallets in there. I know a thing or two about these. And specifically, I know what it's like to lose a bit of crypto. I haven't been fully scammed, but I've had people get close to scamming me. And in fact, because of the channel, people reach out all the time. We'll go over some of that in this video. So I know what it's like to own crypto, to have this need to protect it. And ultimately, I know kind of how to behave in the security sense. Okay. So getting on the first point, let's talk about hardware wallets, cold storage. You guys have to own cold storage, aka a hardware wallet. The reason you want to do that is because it allows you to hold your private keys. Okay, it allows you to own crypto, and it acts like an intermediary. So to give you a quick example, okay, before we even get into the 5 points, when you pick up a hardware wallet, a cold wallet, your crypto is held offline. Okay, so you're going to be able to write down your 12 words, which we'll go over. But ultimately, it makes it more difficult for somebody to get your crypto. So for example, let's say that you have a phantom wallet. Okay, so this is a wallet that when I put in my password's great. But if somebody hacks this computer, they figure out my password, they can sign a transaction, send crypto to their wallet. Well, to get the crypto from this device, you would physically need the device and you would have to tap it to a phone, right? To take crypto from this device, you would physically need to have the device or know the private keys, right? So just because you own the private keys on this wallet, right, on the Phantom, a lot of you have something like this, a hot wallet, as it's referred to, or even like a centralized exchange, which is a bit different. But if somebody hacks an online exchange, you're screwed. You're out of luck. Somebody gets in your account. Okay, that's what we're doing. We're protecting our account. And the best way is to use a physical device because you keep your crypto offline, cold storage, cold. It's cold. Okay, a hot wallet is where your keys are held like on a cell phone or something of a device where if that device gets compromised, you're screwed. These have EAL6 Plus for the most part, most of them. And they're just much better. So you have a pin for the device. and you have to physically have the device. That's really the only way you can get hacked. So guys, never share your private keys. We'll go over that. But you guys should own a hardware wallet. Just pick one up. You guys can pick up a Tangem ring or a Tangem wallet for like 50 bucks. Use code Moose for these. I'm not even trying to sell these right now. It's just, if you guys can do one thing out of this video, we're not even in the first point yet. Pick up a freaking hardware wallet. Just do it. Don't do it for me. I don't even care. You don't even have to use code Moose. You guys do whatever you want, but pick up something like a Tangem, Trezor, Ledger. I love the One Key right now. These are dope. These are dope. I have one in that case right there. And there's the classic. Man, there's so many things you guys can do. What is this? The 1S Pure? What the frick? Oh, Bitcoin only. Yeah, that's dope. I'm going to have to reach out to them. You guys may be seeing an unboxing. Okay, they got to send me one of those. I'm a big fan of One Key. Okay. But I hope that makes sense. Get a hardware wallet. Get something like a ring, a wallet, because it allows you to keep your crypto offline. That's the first thing. Before we even dive into the other points, guys, pick up a hardware wallet. Buy a hardware wallet. Buy a hardware wallet. I don't know how else to say it. Fuck. Okay. So along with a hardware wallet, when you set one up, okay, we're in point number 1. The biggest mistake is to not back up your seed phrase. You do not back up your seed phrase properly. There's only one way you can mess this up. Even with like something like a MetaMask or a wallet on your phone where there's no physical device, it's just software. When you set up a crypto wallet, you have the opportunity typically to write down a seed phrase. So say you guys go here and I don't know, let's say you guys set up a Lace wallet. You're in a Cardano, okay? So you set up a Lace wallet. I should be able to sign into one of mine here. So to sign a transaction, this is only password protected. Reload extension. Let's try to reload this. But anyways, let's say that you guys set up a hot wallet, okay? So here we go. We have 8,000 USD. This is actually protected by Trezor. Let's go to one that's not. Okay, so I don't have a regular account. But anyways, let's say this isn't connected with the hardware wallet. Somebody hacks this computer, okay? Then they could sign a transaction. But let's say nobody's hacked the computer. You know, your seed hasn't been compromised. What you can do is go to your wallet and back it up. And when you're backing up your wallet, basically what you're doing usually is, you know, and sometimes you don't get to write down a seed phrase. It kind of auto backs up, etc. But for the most part, when you back up a wallet, you're going to be able to write down a mnemonic seed. These are 12 to 24 words that holds your private keys. So let's say the first word is like arrow, and then your next word would be like, I don't know, envy, and then it's like moose, and then it's like housing. I don't know. Say it's like stuff like that. You're going to want to write down your words in chronological order. So for example, say it's a 12-word backup. I believe, you know, most wallets are going to be a 12-word. Make sure to write them down on a piece of paper and put that away. So for example, if I ever lose my phone, if I ever lose my desktop, if you are like that one person that lost their crypto because they threw out a hard drive, you could be out. It's probably not you guys, but that one person who had like thousands of Bitcoins that keeps going up in value, he's never going to sleep like well again at night. He's just not going to sleep good. So many people have lost their seed phrase. Your seed phrase is your private keys, which you as the owner can sign the transaction. Not your keys, not your cheese. You guys have to respect that. Okay? Out of everything that you do, if you guys are using a Binance, a Coinbase, a online exchange, you're not going to be able to write down your seed phrase because that's not self-custody. That is a custodial wallet. They are doing that for you, which is kind of a good thing if you don't like the idea of having authority. So authority and responsibility go hand in hand in that regard. But if you guys are serious about crypto, pick up a hardware wallet, back up your seed phrase, write down your words. That's the best thing you can do. There's nothing better you can do. We're going to go over it again. Okay. So number 2, storing. So that's number 1 mistake. But guys, number 2, storing your seed phrase, not on paper, but in your notes app. Do not do this. So let me give you an example. I use the notes app all the time, but in fact, think about it this way. A lot of scammers, people that will steal money from you or, scam you, they're going to steal your phone. People that steal phones, they get into your notes app and then they find all of your passwords. Then they get your bank account, whatever, social security, etc. Be careful what you put into your notes app. Be careful. So here I should be able to pull up a notes app. Let's see. See, I put a new note. So say you go into, I got to be careful. I don't want you guys seeing anything. So anyways, if you guys go here, this is just like, other notes. But if you guys go to a notes app, say you start writing your words, your seed phrase, like 1 is envy, 2 is crying. Hopefully this is not like, what do you call it? Trying to think of who that philosopher or psychologist is. Hopefully it's not a Freudian slip. I'm not trying to cry. I'm not envious. The next one is curious. The moose is always curious. So anyways, you write down your seed phrase. We have a bunch of videos on this. And in fact, I might as well share this with you. To make it easier, you guys can go to the link tree. I told you, I have ways to help you out. I should have one. Go to the link tree. There you go. Free recovery seed sheet. Metal seed. So a lot of people, like myself, you guys can click on the link tree in the description below. You guys can write down your backup phrase on metal. So one thing that can happen, unfortunately, is you guys could have a house fire or you could misspell your words. Okay. In one instance, I believe somebody was moving and somebody got shampoo or soap on their words. The guy one day woke up and he's like, you know what? I don't know if it was his hard drive or he threw out an old computer and he's like, oh man, like I just threw out my crypto wallet. And he's like, you know what? He actually did the first thing. He backed up his seed phrase. Then he went to his seed phrase and there's shampoo and he can't read some of the words, right? So make sure to take your time and do this. You guys have to, take an hour or 2. I don't care if it takes you a whole day. Set up a time in your calendar. Really, really think about this logically. 5 years from now, am I going to have more money in crypto? Is it going to be a significant amount? Ask yourself, if I were to lose these words, if I were to lose my seed phrase, if I were to lose this wallet, is it backed up? Did I back it up properly? Massive right there. So I've gone over it. I have videos, guys, on the channel regarding all this. So if you guys go to the channel, we have a bunch of videos on all this. Seed phrase. I have tutorials, man, on how to do this. How to set up a Tangerine wallet, private keys. If you want to know what that's like. Crypto tag. I have a tutorial on that. DIY metal seed. I talk about this. I also have, not even trying to push online courses, but if you guys aren't familiar with what I'm talking about, what one should you watch? Take a Masterclass. Guys, they're 10 to 15 bucks. 10 to 15 USD. 10-day cryptocurrency challenge. It will guide you on, because here's the thing. If you guys lack knowledge in one thing, it's like a bridge. If there's a hole in the bridge, you can't cross. So anyways, there's a lot of stuff like that where people just don't know. And there's tools. I've created tools on this channel how to do that. Okay, so not backing up, storing. Number 3, the biggest one here. 3 mistakes that could get your crypto stolen. Actually, I should have another one I should put on here. Yeah, here's the biggest one, guys. Buying from Amazon, not buying a hardware wallet from a reputable source. So number one, guys, use the link tree if you do pick up a crypto wallet, because using this link tree, you will be buying from the right website. The worst thing is if you guys buy a device and it's been tampered with, it's highly unlikely. Okay, I actually don't even think you can tamper these devices, especially easily. I couldn't imagine doing it, but some people, I believe, have tampered these devices, and then they will rebox it. You're going to order it, get it, and once you load up crypto, somebody's going to steal your crypto. There's nothing you can do about it. So make sure you're buying from a reputable source. That is very important, guys. That's vital. That is like super, super important. Okay. So that's going to be one. I had another point I wanted to put in here. But yeah, guys, order from a reputable site. If you guys are into like Trezors, guys, I have links for you. Like, I'm trying to make this easy for you. Go to the site, go to trezor.io, whatever the official link is. Just use the link tree. It'll take you right there. I had a good point here. I'm trying to think of what it was. Security. Oh, point number 4. So we've gone over 3. I'm going to change this one. Do not share your seed phrase with anybody. So I've had friends, I know people who have lost crypto. They won't admit it to me, but they shared their private keys with somebody else. If somebody emails you and says, hey, I just need your backup, I just need your private keys, like, no, fuck off. Like, guys, do not share your seed phrase with anyone. Okay? If Michael Saylor goes, I want your private keys, I'm going to help you out. No. Do not share your seed phrase with anybody. When you get an email, don't talk to anybody. If they're asking you too many questions, if they're like, hey, click on this link. Like, guys, none of these companies will reach out to you. Do your software updates on the proper software, whatever. Just be wary of that. Do not share. Don't share seed phrase. Okay? Number 5. Not using a passcode or a password. Okay? So for these devices, I believe you have to use a passcode. That acts as another, like, you guys want to think about it this way. How can I make it more difficult for somebody to hack me? Okay. And guys, I've had crazy phone calls. I've had people call me saying that they're with crypto.com. They just need my date of birth, all this stuff, or they need me to give them their email or to call and to change it. Crazy stuff. So first off, do not hold your crypto on an online exchange. View it like a porta-john. I'm in and I'm out. I'm using it, I'm taking a leak, and I'm out. You don't spend all day in a public bathroom, right? But your crypto is all day offline, okay? So you guys have a good idea there. But yeah, guys, like, make sure to use a passphrase. So for example, this is also a big project. So, okay, so actually I have an offer for Jersey. I got to accept that. Let's go through this. So guys, we have a bunch of projects, by the way. Might as well just share it with you. We have potential 100x projects. This is not financial advice, but I'm giving you guys the goods. Comment down below. Let me know what you guys think. But here's a new project, okay? It's called Danet. Here, if I go to the app, okay, this project, if it launches successfully, it could do well. Right now it's loading. Watch what happens. That defeats what I was going to show you. Okay, so the app automatically opened because I already had it opened. Let's say you go back to Danet and you open it. there should be a passphrase. You should have to put in your password. No, so it's not on. There's an example of something I need to work on. Okay, here, let's give you another example then. Crypto.com. I know I have a passcode for that. Crypto.com. Enter passcode. You guys have to set that up. So on one app, I had my passcode set up where when the app launches, you got to put in your code. Do that. The small stuff adds up. So for example, if you guys, by setting, the best thing you could do out of all these tips, pick up a hardware wallet. I don't care which one you pick up. Set up a hardware wallet, back up your wallet, and then add a crazy password or add a password that at least you know. You're making it so difficult for somebody to hack you, to take your crypto. Okay, so think about it. How can I make it more difficult to be hacked? Obviously, don't be a YouTuber. Don't do that. Don't create content. But imagine somebody's trying to... I actually watched a documentary on this because I was studying all this security stuff. If you don't want to be robbed at your house, most people that break into a house, they go for the weakest link, right? If you're a lion chasing a pack of animals, you go after the weakest one, the slowest one, right? If you're being chased by bears, you just have to outrun your friends, right? So think about it that way. If somebody's going to break into your home, if you have a car in the driveway, they're probably not going to go to that house. If the lights are on, they're probably not going to go to the house. If there's a beware dog sign, if they hear barking, they're not going in that house, right? They're going to go into somebody's house and they thought about it. Like, Moose doesn't rob homes. But think about it logically. I watched interviews where guys were talking about this. They're like, the one guy was giving advice. He's like, and if you were to stack all these things, right? Kind of like what we're going over. If you have a hardware wallet, you back it up. You don't share your seed phrase. You add a passcode. You're making it very difficult. And always update the software, okay? By updating the software, sure, you get access to potentially new tokens, new features, but you're also going to update the security, okay? So all these things combined, right? You're adding more layers. To get my crypto, you need to physically take the device and know the pin that's in my head, okay? Or own the seed phrase. So think about it. How can I make it more difficult to get hacked? If you can answer that and apply it, you'll be good. So guys, really appreciate it. And let me know down below what other videos you'd like to see here on the channel. The Moose is pumping out content, right? Pumping out content like there's no tomorrow. I believe crypto is going to do well from here on out. With that being said, guys, the Moose is loose. Cheers.